Imagine living with random medical symptoms that just don't seem to add up, going from doctor to doctor without answers, and possibly even being misdiagnosed for years, and while precious time is being lost. Well, Dr. Barry Byrne, director of the University of Florida Powell Center, has seen this scenario played out all too often. And he's here this morning to raise awareness about a rare genetic disorder that fits this exact description. Dr. Byrne, thank you so much for joining me this morning.
Thank you.
Let's talk about this rare disease and why it's misdiagnosed. What is it called?
Well, Pompe disease is one of the conditions that is due to abnormal storage of sugars in muscle and nerve tissues that affects the ability to walk, breathe properly, and can, in the younger children, really have a significant impact on heart function.
And what are the symptoms that one sees when the disease starts taking?
Well, first, patients may notice difficulty in walking. Sometimes in the older patients, the first symptoms are associated with difficulty breathing at night, which often leads to headaches during the day. In the younger patients, the breathing problems are very significant and can lead to early hospitalization because of heart problems associated with Pompe.
And you're talking about symptoms that I can see why it could be a reason why it's misdiagnosed, because I can think of so many other diseases that fall into those symptoms.
There are many forms of muscular dystrophy and other glycogen storage diseases, but they have many overlapping characteristics that make it confusing to pick out which one is the exact cause.
If a doctor or even a patient has an idea of what could be happening, is there a specific blood test, a genetic test that can kind of pinpoint and say, this is what you have?
Sure, there are many specific tests now for muscle diseases that either test for enzyme activity in the case of Pompe, or now the advent of the Human Genome Project has allowed us to test the specific genes that are causative of this group of diseases. So it's very easy now to pinpoint exactly the cause of one of these problems that are often seem that look alike.
Now, you mentioned young patients, elderly patients. Do you see it more in one group than another, let's say more in men or women, or is it fair game?
No, men and women are equally affected. All ethnicities are affected. This is a disease in which both parents are carriers, and then a proportion of the children will have that same gene from each parent and then be affected with the condition.
All right, stay right there, doctor, because we do have a family that is going to be joining us in just a bit, a very special family, who has two wonderful children affected by Pompe disease. Their story coming up next. Stay with us. Welcome back. We've been speaking with Dr. Barry Byrne, who specializes in rare genetic disorders like Pompe disease, and we're now joined by the Crowley family, who I know is going to inspire all of you. Welcome Donna, Maddie, and Matt Crowley. Good morning.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Donna, let me start with you. Tell me when your journey began with the Pompe disease.
Well, it all happened rather quickly. Maddie just had a lot of hair loss, and I quickly brought her to the pediatrician. They ran a lot of bloods on her, and her liver enzymes came back very elevated, which then led us to a liver specialist at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, and our story really starts there.
And you really don't know what's going on. And then a few months later, Matt, your other daughter is diagnosed.
Correct.
Tell me what happened.
It was pretty stunning. I mean, I think we were still in the process of absorbing the impact of Maddie's diagnosis when we heard about Emma. And I think that it was, as a parent, we saw it as almost the perfect nightmare, even though we did our best to try to hide it from the girls.
Understood there. Doctor, is it usual to see young siblings in one family be diagnosed within months apart?
Well, when both parents are carriers of an abnormal gene, in the case for Pompe disease that Emma and Maddie have, they can inherit that copy of the gene from both parents. And so, yes, it can happen. It's not usual, but it can happen.
And Donna, when you heard Pompe disease, did you even know anything about it?
I had never heard of it before, no.
Shocking for you.
Very, yeah, a lot to take in.
Matt, you were talking about both girls. Again, you're both little girls. I have two girls. Emotionally, for you and your wife, difficult.
Yeah, it was very impactful. I mean, when Maddie was diagnosed at first, right, it was a few months before Emma, and just the entire impact to us as a family was quite strong, and our extended family and friends as well. And then when Emma was diagnosed a few months later, it just seemed like a perfect nightmare.
Maddie, how old were you, if I may ask, when you were diagnosed?
Like 9 or 10.
9 or 10. Was it hard on you? I mean, did you know something was not right?
I always thought something was wrong with me. Like, everybody has their own problems.
Of course.
But I just didn't understand. Like, I couldn't keep up with other people at school, and I always felt like I was different somehow, but I just didn't know how.
And I know when your sister was diagnosed, I've heard it was pretty hard on you to see her also.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to take it all on my own because I was comfortable with me having the problem, but with her having it too, it kind of hurt.
Doctor, how have you helped the girls manage with the disease?
Well, as you can tell, the family really takes this problem on as a team.
Yes, they do.
And even their son Carter, who's not affected by Pompe, really carries some of the burden, I think. And as a family, through that strength, they've really empowered the girls to take a very positive attitude. And that's very important with any chronic problem.
That's huge
And so
within
they're
the
really
family.
great examples in that way.
And Donna, amazing inspiration that you all have been, and amazing strength that you have had. It's really helped you get through this hurdle, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're a very strong unit. It was very difficult in the beginning, but once we got through the fog, we were able to be ready to fight and fight as a family.
And your daughters, I know, continue to create awareness, which I think is wonderful, not only because, you know, they are living with the disease, but they want to help people too. Matt, you must be so proud of them.
We're very proud. I mean, Maddie was involved in a Pennsylvania statewide Goodwill Ambassador for the MDA. Our older daughter, Emma, has also started an MDA club at her high school, and they're very engaged in different camps and fundraising events for different muscular dystrophies, including Pompe.
And Maddie, I got to tell you, your story is wonderful because you really have inspired me to know that nothing can stop you, correct? And I know you have a lot of dreams and a pretty bright future, I hear. You want to fill me in and tell our audience what you'd like to do one day?
I'm really into music and singing, so hopefully maybe someday I could be on Broadway or do something with music.
Wow. So if you were on Broadway, the lights are on, the mic is yours, what would you sing?
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom, oh, my favorite. Well, if you ever are, and I know you're going to be, promise you'll call me. I will take Julie, and we'll be there front and center with your family.
Okay.
And doctor, you're invited as well. Thank you so much. Thank you for creating this awareness. God bless all of you, and good luck to you.
Thank you.
And of course, if you'd like to learn more about Pompe disease, the research, what's being done, treatments, just go to our website, thebalancingact.com. That's thebalancingact.com. Also, we're on Facebook and Twitter. Join us there. Stay tuned because part 2 of this very special mini-series is coming right up, so stay right there.